Yo, what is going on, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Pitch Podcast, the beautiful game of life, part of the Believe Network. I'm Ramsey Abushala, editor-in-chief of UrbanPitch.com. Julio Matarosa, what's going on, yo? How we doing? How we feeling?
Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought we was finished?
We're pulling up in the alternate studio today. We filmed a few pods in here. Producer Roy's not happy that we're in this studio.
I'm not happy.
Setup,
It just throws me off, but
different vibe, you know.
Different vibes.
A lot more cavernous. This is a much larger studio. You might hear an echo. I don't know if it's going to come through in the audio, but we can definitely hear it here. But it's crazy time. We just passed the 30-day threshold to the World Cup. I think everybody is saying is asking me, like, all my non-soccer friends are hey man, like, what is this really, is this really going to be a thing? Like, are we, like, all the concern is starting to come to a peak. And I think the excitement that usually drowns out the concern is going to hit in this next 30 days. What do you think, Julio? I don't know.
No, yeah. We can feel it already. We have events upon events coming up. We booked them busy, y'all.
Yeah.
But the thing is that same thing, my friends are letting me know, like, hey, what watch party should we go to? If we can get a ticket for a reasonable price for this game, where can we go watch it and still be equally as fun? So, it's getting to the point where people are, like, trying to find their plans. It's getting more real. Traffic is going to be bad.
Traffic. I mean, so I think what we're seeing with the expansion of the public transit system here in LA is pretty exciting. It sucks that they're mostly doing it for the Olympics, right? And it kind of sucks that has to, like, a once in a, maybe not once in a lifetime, but like a monumental event like the Olympics is the only thing that can spur change like that. But I mean, you see on a smaller, like, less successful scale, like the LAX People Mover. Have you seen that? They spent like a crazy amount of money. I don't know how much on. It's like a tram that's going to move people from terminal to terminal. It's just in the LAX airport, but they have that, and then they have the Metro D line, which is extended now. I think it goes from, like, Beverly Hills / West Hollywood, goes through, like, Fairfax and Melrose, like the Grove area, all the way to downtown, which normally, I mean, that's kind of a hellish drive if you're trying to get to downtown, especially in rush hour. Now they're saying it takes you, like, 25, 30 minutes. So
yeah, definitely. I live more west from the studio, and I've taken the train here. There's days where I'm like, hey, I gotta get some work done, guys. I'll see you at the studio, and I get my laptop. And I take the train from Crenshaw and Slauson all the way right here to the Arts District. And I think it's honestly, like, it's not New York, but it's pretty good. It gets me here. It drops me off about 2 blocks away from the studio. And I feel like I can get more work done. And then sometimes I'm lazy. I don't want to deal with that. Because it takes me about an hour and 25 minutes when there's traffic when I leave, if I leave on rush hour, to get here from my house. But on the train, it takes me about 40 minutes. Yeah. And that's a walking time. It literally takes me about 25, 30 minutes with, like, just the ride here. So it is way faster. You get to avoid that traffic that everybody says gets them stressed, gets them angry. And it's smooth sailing. I have not seen. I've seen a lot of bad stories about the homeless people in these trains. I have not experienced it. Probably just one person that I saw that. He was just stanky, but like he was in his corner. When I lived in Santa Monica, we would take the train from Santa Monica all the way to the BMO to watch the game. I think the trains are great. I think LA people, we still, like, oversee them as, like, oh, you got a car, why are you gonna take the train? We still have that methodology about everything, but man, the trains are pretty good. It could be better for more spots. I do want it to go to LAX, and I swear, going from my house to LAX, it's not that far either, but the traffic. Yeah. If it can just get me straight there and straight back, I'll be so happy.
Yeah, and I think the metro system in LA is a little bit underrated because everybody says that, you need to have a car. And that's for the most part, it's true, just because of how sprawled LA is. But if you live along a transit system or, like, nearby a train station, like I had a buddy who lived in North Hollywood, right by the North Hollywood station. We would take the Red Line to Hollywood or even downtown, Like, and it wasn't bad, especially pre-COVID. I think after COVID, the maintenance kind of went down a little bit. The trains started getting less taken care of, and to me, it was less like the people on the train as the trains itself that kind of discouraged me from getting on. Like, it was dirty and like, but I hear now, I haven't taken the train in a few years because, you know, where I'm at now, there's really not much.
Oh, shout out
You know what I mean? Like,
Brokies.
but no. But if you live alongside like a route, one of the routes, it's incredible. And
amazing,
I think that D line that goes, I have the map here, it starts at Wilshire and La Cienega, all the way down Wilshire through Westlake MacArthur Park, all the way downtown. And normally, I mean, you're taking mostly side streets to get from that area to downtown, and that's not fun. So I think now the expansion of this, we're gonna see some like shuttles to SoFi Stadium for the World Cup. So that's promising. That's exciting. And I think I don't know if they're free or not, but I think they might be. Don't
they're
quote
not,
me on
but
that.
people are.
I know, yeah. But they have an expansive shuttle route to SoFi Stadium. So check the routes, check the maps.
So definitely, I went to a brewery, Three Weavers, around there, not probably like 2-3 weeks ago, and they have a train. So it leaves you like about a mile away from it leaves you like around downtown Inglewood. I don't even know there was a downtown Inglewood, but I guess it's a thing now.
That's what they call it.
Yeah. It leaves you by downtown Inglewood, which is literally a mile.
It's like a 20-minute walk.
20-minute walk. So I'm excited about that because if I do get to go to the game, I honestly, I live like I said, I live right there by the Leimert Park station. So there's the K line, and the K line takes me all the way towards like Inglewood. So I feel like if I do get a chance, shout out to the sponsors, whoever they are, I do get a chance to go to the ticket. I really want to go to that USA Paraguay game. I'm praying for a miracle. I have a little money saved up that I think I might have to spend on it. But
low key though, the ticket prices they've started to go down a little bit because I think a lot of people are holding the line and they're seeing these really expansive ticket prices, and I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna pay that. And now you're starting to see the market adjust because, you know, we the people, we set the market value. So, you know, we're not gonna pay these prices, they're gonna lower them. So I think we're starting to see that, and there's a lot of concern about the ticket prices and the ticket sales because a lot of the hotels aren't getting booked. A lot of the the projections versus what's actually happened thus far 30 days out is they haven't aligned. So I think we're gonna see some prices lower.
Yeah, definitely. So like I want to go to that USA Paraguay game. The only real World Cup game I want to go to is in our backyard. It's gonna be the first game here. I gotta find a way to get into that game, but I was planning to take the train just because, first of all, these apps to get like the Lyfts, the Ubers, they've gotten pricey, super pricey. So
it's completely like ruined like the utility of the app.
The
whole thing was like this is cheaper than if you were to call a taxi service, and you know now it's just like, bro, like $40 to go 5 miles, like man, like
I'm walking.
I'm taking my chances.
Hey, shout out to me, I'm running the marathon from now on. No, but I'm planning to take the transit side, see how it is. Probably tell you guys how it goes. I'll probably be upset, mad, but like I don't live that far. I went to a Bad Bunny concert 2018 with my brother, and both of our phones died, and we walked from like the Forum, which is right next to SoFi, to my house, which is a 3-mile walk. It was about an hour.
Oh, it was 1 mile walk. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, we were drunk.
We
were belligerently drunk. But yeah, it was about an hour. We made it. It was like around 12 from Inglewood, from SoFi all the way to my house. So all fails, I'm walking. I'm not paying these Uber prices to get to the stadium because they don't even drop you close. They have to you have to walk towards the gate. And I will drive to SoFi. The thing is to get in. We've experienced it before. To get into SoFi and get out of SoFi, it's a headache. I thought I hated the Rose Bowl, but SoFi and the Rose Bowl are neck to neck with each other.
I would very, very heavily discourage anyone from driving to SoFi. By any means, take whatever,
public transit.
Use the shuttle system.
Yeah.
I mean, last ditch effort, maybe use an Uber to drop you off. I don't think that's going to be the most cost effective means of transport. But if you got it, then spend it. But I would like try to take the whatever metro or shuttle service.
Yeah, I'm not paying $150 for parking to wait an hour to get in and wait an hour, 2 hours to get out.
Yeah.
It's
supposed to be a luxury, and you're not. That's not a luxury. That's more of a headache, and that's.
I'm wasting more of my time. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm either gonna find somebody to drop me off there and find a way back, but I am not driving to SoFi.
Yeah, and then you can have a better time.
Like I'm 3 miles away.
And you can have a better time. You know, you can have a few drinks, maybe take a pull off a NOS balloon.
Shout out to
do all that kind of stuff, man. Like we you know what, like the football, they know how to party. You know what I mean?
Hey, all right. So back in my days, there was like NOS was a big thing, like high school party. Still is. I see some kids doing it. Okay, I thought it was so like when you think about drugs, you think like, hey, like the elites,
right?
They go snowing, like,
they go skiing, you know, right.
They do those more luxurious
white collar.
Yeah. So seeing NOS, I feel like NOS was one of those like you can't afford it, so you got to get a happy balloon that doesn't cost that much. So. It's like the crack.
yeah. It definitely feels like more of a blue collar.
Yeah.
And so obviously, this is a shout to the recent scandal that has hit the internet. Theo Hernandez, Inter Milan, AC Milan, and France outside back.
World Cup winner.
Was it Lucas, his brother, that got hurt in the World Cup, or was it?
I think it was. I don't know. I feel like they look the same to me. I thought they were twins.
I thought they were twins too.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you who's older. I get them mixed up all the time. But this was Theo. I don't know if it was leaked or if he posted it or what happened, but there's videos out of him and should we call them models? Like, what do you like? I feel like I want to be respectful.
Well, they call them escorts on the report.
All right,
we're going off the report. We don't know these ladies.
Yeah.
They was mid though.
This is just what. Come on, man. Come on. I want to be respectful here, Julio.
You're gonna do NOS.
I want to be respectful, Julio.
If you're gonna do NOS and bring escorts, get yourself some baddies, bro. They was like, man.
I'm not gonna comment on
the
that.
good ones were out here doing the white stuff.
Right. We're talking Molly or like maybe a step up. The NOS models.
The NOS escorts are not it, bro.
But so anyways, there's videos of him hiring a bunch of these people to come over and do some laughing gas or nitrous balloons, and it was him, a bunch of teammates. They were all taking videos of themselves.
Bro, and the names that they reported that had gone, like, all right, you can see Brahim Diaz at a club, I think.
Yeah.
With a happy laughing gas tank walking around. They said Zlatan and they
he only won once.
With some respect, and then I say I forgot Kala. The Inter Milan guy. They were like, even though he was not with part of AC Milan no more after he left, they remained real close.
Yeah.
So the scandal is crazy because everybody was like, why did he just leave AC Milan like so sudden? And I feel like he had his videos already for like a year before like.
Yeah, and I don't know why you're taking. It's like, you know, I don't know if you've watched The Wire. There's the scene in The Wire where it's like, bro, you taking notes on a criminal conspiracy, you know? And he rips the notebook from the dude's hand. It's like, why are we like incriminating ourselves? Who are we sending these photos to? Exactly. Why are we taking these? Because these are selfies. And look, I know they're not in the right minds. They're not in necessarily the right state of mind to be making right decisions. But you got to be thinking, if you're hosting this party, it's like, all right, phones in a bag. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
NDA.
how they do at those comedy shows where it's like, you know, put your phones in. We're leaving these outside. We're just living in the moment. Literally, we're going to be here. I don't know if we're going to remember this night, but we're not going to take videos to remember it because we don't need that. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So I don't know, man. It's just crazy to see. And I'm all for people having a good time, especially, you know, if they're not doing anything.
As long as it doesn't affect what your work with. They were saying that there was this driver telling him, hey, bro, stop doing that.
You got a game tomorrow.
Yeah, no. He's like, hey, you got a game this morning. Yeah. Like, stop hitting the balloon. Yeah. He was on the way back from the club, game at whatever 10. Let's say just 10 a.m. Yeah. And he was like still going like 2-3 hours prior to the match. So
it's tough to see. And these are, like you said, like I've been at these parties too, where you have the dudes like selling, like screaming like 4 for $5, 4 for $5, like screaming them in the corner, and just like yo, what kind of a party am I at right now? You know.
But like I seen people do it and just fall.
People, yeah, man, you just see people on the floor. Like that's a scary. I've never done it, and I don't want to. I've never like, because I've been around it, and it was never enticing. You know what I mean? Like it's never like, yo, I want to see what that's about. Like that never called to me.
Seeing someone getting knocked out, I don't want to be like, damn, I want to get knocked out. Like,
I'm trying to be like that, bro.
It's not a thought that runs in my head. If I see a guy falling, like I'm not gonna be like, hey man, that looks like fun. It's crazy. This new generation, the things they doing, the drugs they're doing is no bueno.
Yeah.
And I think, and this is just my belief. I think because we're older, we saw like the crack epidemic and how it affected some of our relatives, like our uncles, like not that far removed from us. And I think so, since those people scared us way too much, that all we do is drink, opposed to like doing the heavier stuff, that they were like, wait, let's get curious about the heavy drugs.
But now, like Gen Z, like the alcohol consumption numbers are
they don't drink alcohol because they're doing out here heavy drugs, lean, like NOS. Like these kids are crazy.
Crazy kids, man. But going from the kids to the unks.
Hey, shout out to us.
Yeah, shout out to us. Obviously, so what we do, like in the media space, I think I've seen a lot of conversations about, what sports media has evolved into, and how, the sports centers, the shows that we grew up on ESPN, they don't really exist in the same way that they did before.
No.
And social media is a big part of that. I don't need to sit and watch SportsCenter for 45 minutes when I can get all the highlights, all of the scores that I care about on my phone, and I can get all this. And so, like, right, to pine for the days of the traditional sports centers, it's unrealistic, right? And at the times change and people evolve and all that stuff. But I think now, in addition to that, you've seen like the hot take merchants just kind of take over and become like the status quo for sports media. And I think, doing what we do, like we like to have a little bit of fun. We'll throw hot takes out here and there, but I try to stay away from that as much as possible, both on here and on the website.
Yeah.
But that's just become like that's what gets clicks.
Oh my! And I hate it because it was like the Charlemagne's in the beginning, how he used to do things, but now he's evolved to something else. Mm-hmm. And now you like, I'm just going to music, but seeing an Ebro now, I try to do like the most ridiculous takes that he can do, so people can find him relevant. And I hate it. Right. And something so I get if the kids do it, but so it's the point where like our generation is doing it as well. It pisses me off because we're like you don't try to be in a space just by starting drama. It's cool, and then it gets to a point where it's just like you don't want to be a one-trick pony. But I feel like everybody in the media space wants to start off with that hot take. This USA team is full of bad players. They have no heart.
Right.
Pulisic is not a real star.
So to be fair, though, like that's what drives clicks and people commenting. And, I find myself even watching that stuff and being like, wanting to get into the comments and being like, no, you know what, I can't feed into this. But certain people do it well. Yeah. And, like your Skip Baylesses and your Stephen A. right? Like those guys kind of pioneered the whole hot take and debate style sports show. I think Nick Wright is thrived in that space. But when everybody is trying to do it, and then, you take all nuance out of everything, then it becomes like, problematic. And then like now you mentioned like the young kids, like these streamers, they're just like saying the most crazy stuff in public, talking to people, like trying to, rage bait them. And then to me, that's just like, like we've gone way too far. I don't know. No,
the thing with me is like, all right, so people that never played at that high level, I want to see that from them. For the people that actually played pros, these that were stars that shared these locker rooms with these players, I want to hear like the Club 520, like the inside on what happened in the training grounds. Vinicius and Chanomendi just got in a fight. I want to know how often that happens. Give me inside of the locker room, what happens in the locker room, opposed to like criticizing the players. Or give an X's and no. Give me more of an X's and no. Like, you guys are messing up because you guys are playing a 4-3-3 when you should be playing a 4-3-2-1 because your wingers are way too whatever information you give us. Like, for a pro player that played at the highest level, I want to hear more like more insight on what it takes for you to play at the level. Why could those struggles be happening? Locker room is not right.
Right. Yeah.
You can tell that the coach and the players are not at the same level. The players that we're getting are not, because when we had the locker, I want to hear that from these pro players, opposed to be like, this new generation soft. They have done. They've gotten everything, but they don't show that what everybody's talking about. They're just hype. Like, no, bro. Yeah. Like, be a mentor. Don't look like a bitter retired pro, and just give the insight on how how you got there when you played in bad teams. How can you turn it around? Yeah. Like, try to give
constructive criticism, and then like insight into what it was like having been there, and having played for the national team, or having played for such and such club team. You know, like, I think the Champions League guys, they do it really well. The TT, Jamie Carragher, and Micah Richardson.
Yeah, Big Meeks.
Yeah, Big Meeks, not Chunks. Meeks.
Yeah.
Chunks is the other dude.
Hey, yo.
No, Chunks is funny too. He's funny. He's like the
like the video guy or something.
Yeah. But Big Meeks and like all those, what Kate Abdo does, like, she's just super like in tune with everything, and like can kind of play point guard, or like, like is the trequartista of that like panel, right? To me, that is what a sports show should be. And when I see like former pros try to become like hot take merchants, to me that's just like, we have completely lost the plot. And you saw Draymond Green talking crap to Charles Barkley, trying to and it's just like, why are we doing this? Why does everything have to be like a shot at you and a shot at you? And just because like we want debate and we want people to kind of reach into like the simplest part of their brains and be like, get mad. Yeah, I think we should all try to like uplift and be constructive and provide insight, and that's what we try to do on this show, even though like we're not like insiders by any means whatsoever. But when we have players on, we try to get those types of stories, or when we talk to like journalists, we try to see what the insights of all that stuff too.
Yeah, and I think CBS does it correctly, because Thierry Henry will give you the perspective of a star player, because he was a star World Cup winner. He won. He has won everything. Well, he's not won like every player. That's your favorite player's favorite player. So and then you have Carragher, which is, he was a solid player, a national team player for England.
Kind of tough as nails.
Didn't take no BS from nobody. And then you have Big Meeks, which he was a child star. He had the hype around him.
He just kind of got injured. And
he got injured pretty strong. Like he said I was a star. I was a star of Manchester at one point. Yeah. So it gives you a perspective from all three levels of somebody's career, and they do it real well. Like, to the point where like they can go X's and O's, and then they can tell you, like, even when they talk mess about a team, it's not mess. It's more like, hey, I remember. Sometimes you gotta adjust. Sometimes if you're going to the outside and you're not winning any battle, start cutting in. Like, they give you insight, but you can still tell, like, hey, I'm messing up. They do it the right way. They don't try to clickbait, but all their clips go viral because they're giving great insight, and
for the right reasons. It's not because of like. And then so that's another thing,
Shout
right?
out to you, Henry. Come on the show.
They do a good job of making you want to watch the show.
Definitely.
Like
and they're funny as hell.
Yeah. So like the clickbait type stuff is great for like creating a viral clip on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. But that doesn't make me want to follow your podcast. That doesn't want me. That doesn't like. I really want to see the other 45 minutes of this 20-second argument. Like that, to me, it's just like. It's like, oh, it helped me scroll while I was, trying to waste time, and I don't know, man, like it's that type of stuff is good if you want to create, like a short, quick hit viral clip, but for long-term stuff, like the more substance that you put into it, and that's what we try to do here. Yeah. We're trying to get as much as possible, like, this types of conversations, but
we don't care about that. I want to hear what music that these players play, like what fashion, like relate to the common person, because we are not gonna all be fast. All our first touches are horrible, or else we would have been pro. Yeah. None of us can play to their backs of the goal. We don't know how to touch a defender to know like what way to turn. Even if you tell us, we're not gonna get it because we're not that good. Yeah. I don't know about the but me, I'll figure it out.
But college scholarship, right? College scholarship?
No, but like we're just washed up athletes or has-beens that never made it. Wanting just to hear the inside of a pro player and how where they at, or how can I relate to them?
Yeah.
Do they like cargo pants that are a little stretchy because the gut is now whatever like
right.
Like I just want to hear whatever the player to the common person. How can we blend that together?
Yeah. Okay. Let's jump into U.S. national team and their outlook into the World Cup. Well, and from a roster perspective, so a lot of teams have released their perspective, like the initial rosters that they're going to whittle down. I think it's like 50, like a 50-player list. I don't know if the U.S. is going to release theirs by the time this episode comes out, but as we're recording tonight, it hasn't come out. There's been a couple of injuries.
Johnny Cardoso was a big
that one.
Hurt me because he was in and out of the starting lineup with Atletico, but I felt like he was going to be a big player that breaks up a lot of plays, a player that was doing good going forward. And he's coming from the Atletico. We always talked about how sometimes you just want to hear you want to see grit from these players, and he's coming from the Grit Academy, School of Hard Knocks. Like your teacher, El Cholo Simeone, he's one of the players that expects you to hit players for no reason sometimes. So I think he's gonna be truly missed. I know our other player, what's his name?
Adjumang? Patrick Adjumang?
Yeah, Patrick as well, like another player that's hurt. So
yeah, and with Johnny specifically, like he's, even with Batiste, he put out like really good performances and he earned a move to a big club. But for the U.S., he hasn't really had that signature performance yet. He's been kind of hit or miss in the time that he's been with the U.S. And I think playing at the World Cup was a big chance for him to kind of make his mark with this team, because he hasn't had a chance to do so yet. And now he's going to miss out on that. And, I mean, he's still young, but, 4 years from now, he might be a completely different player.
Yeah, especially with that injury.
To me, the timing of the injury, too, they just lost.
Why are you practicing the next day?
They're in training the next day, and it's a bad challenge. Like, what are we doing here, I don't know. It was really, really unfortunate. Adjumang is another guy, too, who, wasn't probably going to be the striker, but he was on a pretty good streak in the championship after making a move from Charlotte FC. And a lot of people kind of, he was a polarizing player because he would put up statistics. Like, he would get his goals. He'd poach a goal here and there, but there'd be chances where he'd miss, and he was kind of inconsistent. But he was a type of dude that when you put him in front of goal, he will find a way to put the ball in the back of the net, which is something that is an invaluable trait to have. And as a guy coming off the bench, maybe as a sub in the last minute when we need something to happen, he could have been a valuable option. But I don't know. What do you how, because we were talking about a couple weeks ago, we haven't even talked about the roster and all this and that with all the other drama, but what is your vibe rating of from the U.S. going into the World Cup 1 month out?
You know what, I knew we were going to talk about it today, so I wanted to see some of what people else wrote about it, and then I literally just zoned out. So I was like, dang, these jerseys are amazing. the black star one and the jerseys,
the Navy stars, those go hard.
But it goes back to I don't know what to expect. This is the first time I don't know what to last year I was I know we're making it out the group stage. We have the team to make it out of the group stage. I was delusional enough to be we're gonna beat Netherlands. We have a chance.
Yeah.
And then this year I'm I don't think we're gonna get out the group, not because we don't have the players. The players in the I don't think I've seen a game to measure them, because every time I see their game is basically another topic had happened that same week. This is happening or this is happening.
Right.
So
I think Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. Right.
Turkey's gonna be difficult. Paraguay's gonna be.
Turkey's really good.
Yeah, I think Turkey's gonna make it deep into the World Cup.
And they have a lot at the Euros in 2024. They had a really good run. They're a very tough team. I think the last World Cup they were the dark horse pick, and they kind of fizzled out in the group stage. So they're a team kind of with a chip on their shoulder. They play very tough. They have a lot of Arda Güler, top level player. That's a tough. Paraguay too.
Paraguay. So the thing about Paraguay, we struggle with teams that play real physical, and they're sneaky technical as well. They come from South America. But we struggle against real physical teams. That's a physical team that's gonna beat you up for 90 minutes straight. And then Australia is not the most talented team, But another team that
they took Argentina to like the last minute.
It's another team that is gonna beat you up for 90 minutes straight. Yeah. They come from that championship EPL style of playing. So if we can't take no punches, if we don't punch back,
right.
I see us losing all 3 games, which I'll be so mad.
Yeah, I think we wrap the last few weeks of the season, the European season, we just gotta wrap Weston McKennie in bubble tape, wrap Tyler Adams in bubble tape, wrap Christian Pulisic, who's like kind of he returned to training earlier this week, but like he's that guy's the most injury prone dude I've ever seen. Wrap all these dudes in bubble tape and to sit them. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, but
I think MLS guy might be the ones that are going to be the sneaky producers for our team.
Which guys?
Lost his name, but the Houston Dynamo
Jack
guy.
McGlynn.
Yeah,
he scored a banger. That was
bangers
a banger
against LA. He scored like 2 goals against LAFCs and just straight just. They were amazing goals, but it didn't seem like much because they were not top end. They were just to the side. He just passed it in. Yeah. Another guy, Bill Harcher's son.
Sebastian.
Sebastian. I think those are 2 players that are going to be sneaky good for us, which I think is gonna. It's hopefully it brings the best out of the European players because these guys coming from like that. So you guys are the best because you're in Europe. Mm-hmm. These just MLS guys, and if they're producing more than us, hopefully it's a chip in their shoulder and they can like.
Yeah. Speaking of hot take merchants, like that's a big kind of like. MLS guys should never see the field, or
dumb. They've been producing way better than some of our European guys.
And there's a big argument around Cardoso's spot in the starting lineup versus a guy like Sebastian Berhalter or even Carlos Roldan for Seattle, and which is like wild to think that Roldan is still in the conversation, but
Roldan is passes.
But the last set of friendlies the U.S. had. The MLS guys didn't really play to the high levels that they showed in both MLS and in previous stints with the U.S. national team. So I don't know. The level is too inconsistent for me, and I think MLS, the top level of MLS is really, really, really competitive. But once you get into that middle to low zone, it falls off. And so to me, I think that's the biggest challenge with MLS is the consistent competition week in and week out is very middling, and so or not middling, but like inconsistent, and it varies. So I don't know. I don't know like their metal to be able to be like week in and week out, put out like their best type of performances. So that's my thing with MLS guys.
The thing with Johnny Cardoso is like at first it was a valid argument because he was not getting the consistent minutes that he was getting the last few months. So I feel like his form was undeniable. He had to start.
Now he's not. So who's going to fill in his spot? I don't know. Like, is it going to be a Brendan Aronson? Is it going to be?
Brendan Aronson is. That's mine. I've been saying this for years. How much I love that guy. At one point, I thought he was like our best U.S. player.
Dude, he looked like it.
Yeah, and then like the injuries have messed him up. Mm-hmm. I think he's lost a step, but
he had a pretty decent year. Like I saw a stat that said he has 5 open play assists in the Premier League this year, and only like 4 or 5 guys, and it's like the top dudes like Bruno Fernandes, and like 2 other dudes that are above him. And this is like a guy who's kind of on the fringe, right? Whereas before he was like a main dude. Like in 2022, he was getting minutes. He wasn't in the starting lineup, but he was he looked to be like one of the dudes in the future. And
he was that guy that brought the grittiness to
feisty. He was feisty player.
Feisty player. And like, if Johnny and him would have just stayed healthy, those 2 battling it out, too healthy at their peak with no injuries, I think those 2 guys, it will be a heck of a battle who starts. And then it gives McKennie more of a chance to be an attacking player because every time one of those players is hurt, they try to put him as an outside back, put him all over the place. So I like McKennie going forward as well. So hopefully Aronson can stay healthy and can be at tip-top shape because if he's in tip-top shape, he's one of our best players. He doesn't do anything fancy, but he's breaking up hella plays. He is first one to be on people's faces. If you need a profile and hit a player just because you have to, he's that first player to do it, and he's not apologizing. Yeah. He's probably like my height, and he's jumping in your face and trying like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So I love those type of players. So if we can get a top tip type form, Everson, I think we're going to be in good hands.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the roster is going to look like, and more importantly, like the people's reactions and overreactions to what we're going to see, because it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
I think our starting lineup with the defenders, even though there's been a lot of criticism, like who's going to play our center backs, whatever, who's going to be the outside backs, I think we're solid. I'm not saying like we're the best, but I think we're solid in our back line and our mid line. Attacking, who the hell is going to be our forward? Who the hell is going to be our goalie? I think it's the two biggest questions for the U.S. And there's two important positions. One keeps goals out. Yeah. One scores goals. So like, I think our mids and our defenders are solid. Our solid team. I think we just gotta those two important parts. Which it's funny to me because back in the days,
that was our like specialty.
Yeah. Back in our days, it was either we had a great goalie and a great forward, and then we were like mid as hell. Yeah. Now we're solid everywhere else, but our starting our starting forward and our starting goalie.
Yeah. Okay, Julio. Anything else before we wrap up? Any last shout outs?
Man, nah, stop doing NOS if you have games.
Yeah, lock it in, man. Do a white collar drug, dude. Like, come on, you're making millions of dollars, and best you can do, like, we got people in Pacoima doing NOS. You know what I mean? Like, man. Come on, man. Like, play to your level.
Bro, you out here doing Skid Row drugs, like, bro. Like, come on, get it together, y'all.
Oh man, this has been another episode of the Urban Pitch Podcast, the beautiful game of life, part of the Believe Network. Keep it tapped in. We got a lot of events, a lot of watch parties, all that stuff coming up. We're excited. We're appreciative of you watching, and we hope that you stay with us for the rest of the summer. But until next time, for Julio Monterosa, I'm Ramsey Abushala. We'll see you next week.
We out.